Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Bon Voyage dinner for our traveling ambassadors who will be leaving this Thursday to travel to Australia. We'll let them introduce themselves later in the program. But I would like to introduce a couple people who are here. That wasn't it. First of all, we have Tom Chavez, one of our council members, right over here. And his wife Jane is right over here.
I was looking for a doorstop. Trying to use my influence, but I didn't get one. See how much influence I have.
Oh well. And they're with us tonight. Also, we have our special travel agents who are here, Mark and Mindy. Right there, Megan. Wave, Megan. And they also have special visitors. It's Mindy's nephew Tim and Natalie are here. They're sitting right over there. So that just adds a couple of extra accents to us. Of course, they're going, well, wait a minute, we don't have the accent. You guys have the accent, but that's okay. Also, we have sort of a special tonight. She's not going to talk, but if you have any questions about Magdalena, that was our first sister city, Magdalena, Mexico. Blanca Rivera, who is right over here. I understand you were born there?
No, my mother was.
Your mother was, okay, but she knows it very well and she just went on a trip. So if you happen to have any questions for her about, you know, what the area is like and what they do down there nowadays, because it's been a long time since we had an exchange, but you can ask her during the evening. So let's see, do we have any other dignitaries other than, no, it doesn't look like.
Did the interviews?
Well, oh, of course we have Tom's photographer, Jerry Jambazian, right here. He'll be taking pictures of the event, and I'm sure that we will be famous again for pictures. I don't know, Jerry, where are you going to post them?
TempleCityPhotos.com.
TempleCityPhotos.com. So the event will be recorded in history. So other than that, we have our taco man, who I believe is ready. Ready, Alex? Okay. Alex is our hostess with the mostest tonight. So we'll start with our dignitaries here that are going to be going to Australia. So if you guys want to go ahead and get your plates, and then when they finish, we'll just go ahead and start with this table. My wife Nancy, who's basically her and Leanne Paroldi. Come on up, Leanne. They're the ones that are actually in charge of instructing and training the ambassadors in terms of what to say and what not to say, and you know how to act and that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'll turn it over to them.
Carrie? I would just like to say thank you so much to all of you who have come tonight. I know everybody's schedule is very busy and took a little longer than we anticipated serving so many people, but thank you very much, and parents especially. Thank you for letting us have your kids to enjoy this incredible adventure they're just about ready to embark on. I know Steve introduced Tim and Natalie, but I tell you, it's just so cool listening to that Australian accent, especially for those of us who don't get to go this time. You want to talk to Mark, Mindy, Megan, Natalie, and Tim, and they do speak English. It's just with a little slightly different accent. Talk to them tonight because it's just such a beautiful sound. Kids, if you would like to hop up, we would like to introduce all of the families. So I think I'll have the students go stand by their families and introduce them for us. Yes, and Bill and his wife is back by the door. They are experts on Australia because they have been to Australia how many times? 14 times each. Yes, they do like it, and they're going back in September, October, and going on a cruise all the way around Australia. That'll be 15 times for them. Did we miss somebody else on this table? Jerry, Tom. Oh, and Stephen Rosebrook went 2 years ago, and his dad, Tom, next to him. And across from Stephen is Alex Vicario. She also went 2 years ago. The year they went, they came back the next morning and they were at school the next day at 7 a.m. for 10th grade registration with their school uniforms. I mean, school is in Australian school uniforms because they were so terrific. They loved them, so they wanted to buy them and bring them home. And they stayed all day at registration. They were so excited about their trip. Okay, Mark and Angie. Angie Gomez, if you raise your hand. Angie's a member of the Sister Cities
Sister Cities International Board. There's an opportunity for people that are involved in any Sister City program to fill out an application and go to the annual conference. I just came from San Antonio, Texas. We'd love to see the youth. There was 50 youth there, of which 25 were from San Antonio, and the other 25 were from other states. But in San Jose, California next year, if you can make it, July 31 to August 2nd, a 3-day workshop for the Sister Cities International in San Jose, California.
Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Could all go. Linda Hardwick is across from Angie, and Linda is our secretary. Behind Linda is Leanne's other half. And you met Jimmy and Herb and Dolores in the teal colored shirt. Raise your hand, Herb and Dolores. They went to Australia when we went the first time. And they are, hi Addie, you waving to Nathan? Cute. They are also world travelers. Across from them, Lou and Regine Paletta, and you have hosted since the 80s, Australians?
We went with the band.
They went with the band back in 88, I believe, when 200 people went to Australia, to the Hawkesbury. So they're longtime supporters of Sister City. Next to Lou, Mary. No, not Sherry. Across from them, Janet. Janet, and across from Janet is Mary. Mary Keith is our treasurer with a white top on. And she has also been to Australia and probably in this group is one of the longer standing members of Sister City. And she kind of gives us the history of what has gone on whenever we question something. On Mary's right is Sherry Pica, who was president of Sister City for several years and has hosted many of the Australians. She hosts lots of people at her home. And in the pink is Midge Leone, our membership chairman. So if you get the emails from Midge reminding you of membership, she's the one that you need to speak to or mail it into. And across from Midge is Dora. Dora is now one of our vice presidents in charge, along with Steve Vicario, in charge of our dinners. Takes the bulk off the seat. Okay, students, if you will push your table back. When they go to Australia, they are expected to sing at least 2 songs. One a patriotic song and one any other kind of a song. So the kids have selected a couple of songs, and we will let them get started on their own.
So for our first song, they asked us to sing a more patriotic song, so we are going to be singing a well-known classic called Yankee Doodle. Yay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle, keep it out, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the steps and with the girls be handy.
Okay, for our second song, this is our more hip, as Luis likes to call it, song, and it's called We're All in This Together from High School Musical.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Together, 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 everyone. Together, together, come on, let's have some fun. Together, there for each other every time. Together, together, come on, let's do this time. Here and now, it's time for celebration. We finally figured it out. Yeah, that all our dreams have no limitations. That's what it's all about. Everyone is special in their own way.
We make each other strong.
Each other strong, we're not the same. We're different in a good way. Together's where we belong. We're all in this together. Once we know that we're all stars, and we see that we're all in this together. And it shows when we stand and make our dreams come true.
Mind you, some of you have heard me say this before, that I had no idea that they were expected to sing songs over there. And it wasn't until we sent a few groups, yes, Patrick's group, they even tried to get them to sing Yankee Doodle. They didn't even all know that. So it was after we went to Australia and we were there for the welcome function for their kids who had been to Japan that I saw just exactly what was expected of the kids and the speeches and the singing. So we kind of sent our kids blind the first couple of years, and I felt really badly about that. But now we know that they need to sing songs. And the funny thing was, the Australian kids came over here prepared to sing, and none of them ever told us that. Until we found out they expected our kids to sing. So then we started asking their kids to perform, and they have ever since then. When they arrive in Australia, they will be having a welcome function. I think you'll get there on a Saturday, and their welcome is actually on a Tuesday, because the Japanese group is there right now. I think today they might have been arrived. No, today's Sunday, so tomorrow they're arriving, I think. In Australia, and they'll be there for the week before our kids come, and then there will be an overlap of 3 weeks, and then the Japanese kids will leave, and they'll have just our kids for the last week. But at their welcome function, they're going to be singing their songs, and they have to give a speech. Again, the speech needs to tell a little bit about themselves, just to introduce them to all of the other people. They've written bios to their host families and to the president, but the rest of the committee does not know who they are or what they're like. So they're going to give speeches right now that they will give in Australia. So it's just a little bit about themselves. Families, you obviously know, well, I'm hoping you know everything that they're going to say. But we realize some of you and kids, you know these six, but the Australians don't, so that's why they're going to give the explanation they are. Go ahead.
No, we're not.
Okay, I'm going to go first. So, hi everyone, my name is Janabelle Pang, and I just want to thank you guys for coming to our Bon Voyage dinner today. It really means a lot to all of us, and it really is an honor being one of the 6 going to Australia this year. So, a little bit about myself. I'm 16 years old, and I'm going to be an incoming junior at Temple City High School. I have been involved in the ASB leadership and basketball for 2 years, and I come from a family, as you see over there, and I only have 2 sisters, so when I found out that I would be living with 3 brothers, only 1 sister, and 9 dogs, I was really, really, really excited. So in the future, I really hope to go to an out-of-state college and hopefully work in the entertainment industry after that. And some of my favorite things I like to do during my spare time is watch LA Lakers because they're my favorite basketball team, shop, and I love stalking my favorite Australian singer places. Just kidding. Okay, but in all seriousness, I would really like to thank the Sister City Association for everything they have done for us, especially Steve, Nancy, and Leanne. Thank you guys for always dealing with the 6 of us, and I know we can be crazy at times, but we really love you guys, and honestly, without any of you guys, none of this would be possible, so thank you very, very much.
Hello, my name is Nathan Franco, and I'm 16 years old, and I am going into the 11th grade at Temple City High School. My mom refers to our family as the Franco farm. I live with my parents, Mitzi and David Franco. I have 3 sisters and 1 brother. Now, our farm would not actually be complete without a full list of families. We have 2 dogs, McCavity, who is 14 years old and is slightly blind and deaf. And there's Rascal, who is about 12 years old, and he's very playful for his old age. And we have 1 cat, and depending on who you ask, you will get numerous names from him. My mom personally calls him Wally because she got him from Walmart, and I call him Leroy because that's his original name. Everyone else calls him Lucifer the Demon Cat. He's about 3 years old, and we got him in about September, and during Christmas time, he likes to terrorize our tree. I mean, what kid wants to play with ornaments hanging from the tree? He likes to sleep on top of the chinchilla cage and likes to play with our chinchilla. Chin Chin is our little furry little rhoda who likes to entertain us when she's taking her little ash bath. My brother Patrick, he has 2 water turtles, Bonnie and Clyde. And that's all the animals that we have. I am attending Temple City High School, and I just finished my sophomore year, and after high school I would like to go to a university and get a degree in fire science and become a firefighter out in Dallas, Texas. On my free time, I like to listen to music, spend time with friends, family, just enjoy. Finally, I would like to thank Nancy and Steve for what they have done. But I'd just like to say thank you for this once in a lifetime opportunity to go to Australia.
Hi, my name is Jambazian. I am 16 years old and I am an incoming junior at Temple City High School. I live with my mom, my dad, and my younger sister, Jacqueline. During my free time, I enjoy, well, first, a little bit about myself. I grew up off-roading with my dad on ATVs and dirt bikes and in his truck since I was 4 years old. During my free time, I enjoy volunteering, playing sports, and coaching basketball and volleyball. I currently have over 700 CSL hours. At school, this past year, I was involved in Christian club leadership, youth group leadership at my church, ASB leadership, student council, peer listeners, and student senate. And I am looking so forward to meeting my host family because my sister, I found out, goes to a sports academy, which, to my knowledge, no one has gone to yet. And right now I want to thank Leanne and Steve and Nancy because we literally could not have been put into better hands, and they've just been so supportive. And I'd like to thank my family for their support and the city because this cannot be possible without you guys. So thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Billy McGavin, and I'm 16, and I'm going to be an incoming junior at Temple City High School next year. My family is made up of 2 older sisters, an older brother, 2 brother-in-laws, my grandmother, and my 4-month-old niece, McKenna. I also have parents. I have 2 wonderful parents who I love very much, especially because they're allowing me to go on this trip. My dad, Lloyd, is a satellite engineer at Boeing Satellite Company, and my mom, Maggie, is a stay-at-home mom. And at Temple City High School, I'm very active in the Performing Arts program. I'm a first-year member of the Brightside Singers, which is our school's show choir. And next year, I'll be the Commissioner of the Arts in ASV, or Associated Student Body Leadership. Besides music, my favorite subjects include history, English, and Spanish, because in those classes, they let me talk a lot. So I enjoy doing those. I'm really excited to have this opportunity to travel to Australia and learn about the different cultures and customs there. When I first applied for this trip, I never thought that I would be one of the 6 chosen, and to be here now is unreal. In Australia, I'm looking forward to trying all the different foods and visiting Canberra and Sydney, where I'm sure I'll take lots of pictures. I'm most excited to meet my host brother Adam, his parents Len and Linda, and his 2 younger brothers. I've never really had any siblings my own age, so this is going to be a new experience for me. I would like to thank Leanne, Steve, and Nancy for helping and encouraging us throughout this whole process. I also like to thank the Council for giving us the opportunity and trusting us to represent America in Temple City in Australia. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Louisa Chang, and I'm going to be a junior next year at Temple City High School. And in Australia, I will be staying with the Tracy's family. So I will have one older sister, and then my sister Phoebe, who is also 16 like me. And I'm really excited to be staying with them. So in my family, we have my parents and my little sister Deborah. She's 2 years old, and I love her to death. I didn't expect her to happen, but she did, and I'm really glad that happened. So my biggest passion is photography. So when I grow up, I want to pursue a career as a photojournalist, and my dream job would be to work for National Geographic and just travel and take pictures, and I think that would be amazing. Music is also something I really care about. I've been playing the piano since I was 3 years old, and I absolutely love it. I used to complain about it a lot, but now I'm just really grateful that my mom was just telling me to push through. My favorite subject in school is history. I just love learning about what happened before and what we can do with the past, and bring it into the future. And I'm also very into politics, which means I'm vice president of our school's JSA next year, which is the Junior Statesman of America. It's a political speech and debate club. It's also kind of model legislator. Kind of brought it back this incoming year. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also involved with Eyes Club. It's a community service club, and we like to make sandwiches for people on Skid Row and do cleanups and stuff, and I just really enjoy that. Next year, I'll also be a part of ASB Leadership, which is Associate Student Body Leadership, and I'm going to be acting as the Activities Commissioner. So I will be planning dances such as Homecoming and Sadie's Hawkins. And I also run cross country and track, which is really cool. I think it's just a good way to push yourself and just keep on persevering, and it's a good sport to go with. But I also grew up swimming and playing softball and soccer, so I guess I grew up playing sports. And in my free time, I like to hang out with my friends, and I like to run and listen to music and go to the beach. So I'd just like to thank Nancy and Steve so much for letting us go on this trip, as well as the rest of the committee and the rest of the Sister City Association. I'm just super grateful to have you guys in my life, and you've kind of become like our second family, and I'm just really glad that you guys are here. So thank you for letting us go on this trip.
Well, hello, my name is Kiefer C, and I'm 16 years old, and I'm about to become an incoming junior at Temple City High School. My parents were separated 5 years ago, and ever since, I live with my dad and my two sisters, Keisha and Kelsey. My mom visits every once in a while, and when she does, we usually go out to eat lunch or hang out at the mall. And ever since my mom left, my dad has taken the role as like a mother and a father, and like he's really inspired me. And ever since then, he's been like my idol. And so I grew up loving sports, especially baseball. And growing up, I wanted to be like Derek Jeter, the famous shortstop for the New York Yankees. And especially in my free time, I love hanging out with my friends at the mall or going to a park and playing a nice game of baseball, football, or basketball. At school, I play for the junior varsity baseball team, and in my future goals is to graduate from high school and attend my dream college, Point Loma Nazarene University. I've always dreamed of playing in the major leagues for my favorite team, the New York Yankees. And however, if I can't make that happen, I'd like to become a sports medicine doctor. I'm very honored to get a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go to Australia, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the wonderful sites such as the Sydney Opera House and the Harbour Bridge, and especially learning how to play rugby. I'm also looking forward to meeting my host family, the Raffalos, spending time with them and learning about their culture. And I'd just like to thank everyone for this opportunity. Nancy, Steve, and Leanne for always putting up with us, even though like lots of trouble. And Tom Chavez and the council for having us go through this every year and putting up with us. Thank you.
Before I call our travel agents up, I would just like to ask if anyone has any questions to ask our students. Feel free. This would be a perfect time. Questions? Go ahead.
What's that Vegemite stuff? Does it taste bad?
I haven't had it yet, but I hear it's
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad?
I heard it tastes like soy sauce.
Yeah,
I heard it tastes like soy sauce.
They told me it's from like the bottom of the
It's delicious.
Was that Mark that said it's delicious?
Yeah, actually, when it was Hawkesbury,
They all eat it.
Oh yeah, who's eating it?
They'll try it, if they haven't already.
Should have spread it on.
They'll try it. Very good.
Like at least
Did you
3
say
inches.
thick?
3 inches at least.
Oh. It's kind of like the drop bear.
Bring
Don't-
back a lot of Tim Tams.
Yes. I know I heard, I think Billy say what he was looking forward to. Could each of you go down, just say one thing you're hoping to see or do, or looking forward to seeing or doing in Australia?
Learning to play rugby.
I'm excited to go to the beaches because I really like.
I'm excited to go to Colo High School and meet people there.
I'm excited to go to Hills Sports Academy I'm excited to go to Hills Sports Academy.
I'm excited just to go sightseeing.
I'm excited to eat the food and to go shopping.
The Jambazian family. Just remember, it's kind of expensive in Australia to go shopping.
Very expensive.
We always recommend a certain minimum amount to take, and Ken Glanders, who was very instrumental in getting the program going years ago, used to tell about one of our students who went to Australia and parents had to keep sending more money over because the student spent a great deal of money. But mind you, she went back to Australia to go to school, to college, to get her master's, so it was pretty exciting. We have had a couple of our kids go back over to Australia either to visit their host families or to go to college. Chelsea Ansel was one of the last ones that went over, and she was working at the hospital in Sydney, an administrative assistant to the head of the hospital. So it was really cool to hear about her experiences. So who knows, your children might decide to go back to Australia for college. It's been done a couple of times now. And parents, just letting you know, we've asked the kids if they're interested in hosting next December when the Australian kids come over. You are not forced to by any means. It's not under contract or anything. But I think you'll find when your children come back from Australia, they will be dying to host an Australian over here. Again, they'll be coming probably about this 28th to 29th of December. We have a couple of presentations to make, and Tom Chavez has already done this with the City Council. They received shirts from Council and some little mementos. Mark Peters, if you wouldn't mind coming up, they have the actual paperwork for the kids. Mark and Mendy are two of the best travel agents you could ever want. Mark is from Australia, and talking to either of them, you think they're both from Australia because Mendy has picked up a lot of the accent also.
I'm not allowed to.
So inside here is their electronic ticket, their electronic visa. People who purchase travel protection or for sickness and stuff, it's also in there as well. And they get a little booklet and just a little bit some things to read on the airplane about Sydney before you get down there. So, okay. So first one's for take the last one.
Thank you very much.
And parents, a couple of the great things that are in this little packet are their hot pink luggage tags. It makes it very easy to spot the suitcases when they're all the same.
Nancy, did you have them do those customs papers already?
No.
See, now they really think, now they really know they're going.
Now it's real. You're going.
You're going to be at City Hall on Thursday night when they
No, because I'm going to be at the Dodgers.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what time. It's 6 o'clock. 6. What time are they leaving? 6?
Thank you very much.
6 o'clock. Carried. 6 o'clock.
We will be meeting at 6 p.m. Thursday night at City Hall, not here, City Hall, right outside of the community room. 6 p.m. We'll take pictures like in the Performing Arts Pavilion first, group shots, so bring your cameras. And then the kids will say goodbye to their friends and family, and the committee will take them to the airport. I think I've said this before, that we will stay with the kids at the airport until they actually go all the way through security where we can no longer see them. Then we'll still wait there for a couple minutes just in case something went wrong and somebody comes running out. It's happened before, and we don't want to miss anybody or anything. So Leanne and I will be there, and possibly Rudy will be, well, no, Rudy's going to take stuff if Dan Origi isn't. Leanne and I will be there waiting with your kids. If their flight is delayed, and I believe I may have said this also, if it's delayed several hours, we will still wait. We won't have them go through security. We'll stay there with them because we don't want them to stay longer than just an hour or two by themselves once they've gone through. It's kind of the mother hen in me, I guess. Their flight is at 10:10. Parents can go online and watch the progress of the flight. Kids this year are not being allowed to bring any electronic devices. For any of you kids who went before, they can't take their laptops, they can't take their iPhones, they can't take their iPads. Kindles that do anything other than have books on them, they're not being allowed to take them. So this is going to be a very interesting experience to hear what they have to say when they come back. Kids nowadays are used to all the electronic devices. They're going to have to live like the olden days when we were growing up and didn't have anything. They'll let us know how excited they are about that. Sister City has a couple of things for the kids. They are each getting a bag to themselves, a shopping bag, and a bag to give to your host families. And there are 3 Sister City pens in there, one for you, one for your family here, and one for your host family there. They are also getting their shirts with their names on them. We used to have little name tags made up, but one year when the Australian kids were very late in getting off the plane, because one of the fathers was a pilot, so he had arranged for them to have a tour of the cockpit after everybody else got off the plane. But we didn't know that, so we were very nervous thinking something happened, they're not on this flight. We're panicking after a couple of hours standing there watching people go through. But when they came off, they had these names embroidered on their shirts, and we spotted the name right away. And that's what we need to do, have their names embroidered. So would someone just hold up their shirt?
Yeah.
Can you hold them all up?
Oh, great.
Okay.
We'll get a picture. Aren't you the one that's going to need 3 shopping bags? Get a little closer. All right, smile. That's good. Thank you.
Again, bring your cameras Thursday night. If you think you might need it, bring your Kleenex along with you. They will be excited, so I apologize to parents if you think your kids are not saying goodbye to you, like, oh, I'll miss you, I'll miss you. Yes, they will, but they won't have time to miss you once they get over there. They're going to be so busy and having so much fun, so many new experiences. Please don't be offended if they don't Skype with you every night, they don't email you every day. They are going to be kept busy. They're going to be somewhat exhausted when they keep going on outings and they don't get a lot of sleep, especially if they make a lot of friends and they stay up late on school nights and excursion nights. Trust me, it's only 4 weeks. You'll hear all about it when they get home. They'll have pictures, hopefully. But kids, if you wouldn't mind letting your family know once you arrive. That's the one request I have. Make sure that they know right away that you arrived. If there's any delay, we'll let you know also from the airport that there's a delay. Well, you can go online, you can see it too. If we know before 5:30 that there is going to be an extended delay, we will call all of you and not meet at 6 o'clock. If it's going to be over 2-hour delay, there's no sense in going and sitting at the airport when they can sit with their family and maybe have a little bit more dinner to eat or something. You're welcome to bring anyone you want Wednesday night to say goodbye to them. And just a heads up for the 6 sets of parents, we will be having a potluck for the 6 parents and the board halfway into their trip. The date is the 10th of August. That's 2 weeks in. Because sometimes some parents don't hear from their kids and they kind of get worried. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep in touch with everybody and compare notes, what you've heard, so that everybody has an idea of what's going on with the kids. They are staying in 6 different families. Are you all in different towns? I don't remember. 2 of you are in the same town. Okay. But they can be an hour to an hour and a half away from each other. They won't be interacting with each other all the time. We've got about 3 or 4 different schools that are represented. So several of them will be the only Temple City student in their school. And as Janelle said, we've never had anybody go to the sports academy before. That will be interesting and fun. If there are any problems, parents, please call Leanne, call me. Let us know. Don't wait until they come home to say, oh, by the way, my son or daughter fell and broke their leg and nobody looked at them and they were hobbling around for 3 weeks. Please don't wait. Or if anything, you feel that something's not going well, let us know. I'm in town now. Leanne's here. I'm not going anywhere. So we're available anytime, night or day. If there's an emergency, of course. I'd rather you don't call me after 11 p.m. unless there's something that's really drastic. Kids, communicate with your family. Family don't expect you to communicate very often. Remember, they won't have the electronic devices. They will be able to use the computers at their individual homes, however. Anything else? Parents, do you have any questions for us? They can call home and they will be given phone cards by the Australian Committee to use the family's phone to call home. It's like about 200 minutes, I shouldn't say it. They'll have at least 20 minutes on there that they can use at home. Kids, friends that are here, don't expect that your friends will call you and talk for 2 hours at a time. They're given a time limit. They only have 30 minutes a night to talk on the phone, and that's with all their family and friends. So don't feel offended if they're not calling you and talking for a long time, or Skyping or emailing for a long time. They're limited on the use of the computer every night. Okay? Good question. Yes, they'll have some minutes. Yes?
What exactly is the limitations for the computer?
30 minutes a night. 30 minutes a night. The whole idea, this is a cultural exchange. They're there to learn about the Australians, learn about the families, what they do, how they interact with each other, go on different outings with the families, make friends at school, do things with other school students, and of course go on the excursions with the Australian Committee. Yes, Mary?
30 minutes a night doesn't mean 6 o'clock our time.
Good point. Good point. Thank you. Remember, families, they're 17 hours ahead of us. So they're not going to call you, at 6 p.m., nice time for them. That's not 6 p.m. in their time. So you need to work out now, before Thursday, approximately what time you're going to try and call. We don't want them using the phone at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning and having to wake up and call you. Work something out. If you're never available during their day or evening time, then maybe it'll be internet emails for the next 4 weeks. But yes, good point. 17 hours time difference. And please, parents, you're welcome to be communicating, and I hope you are, with the host family. The parents, I hope you all have made contact with the host parents. If you haven't, please do so before Thursday. It makes all of us parents feel a little bit better if we've communicated in some way, even if it means you have to call. 99-cent store, you get about 20 minutes off of a 99-cent store calling card. I've used it, works great. 20 minutes is pretty good. Talk to them if you don't just want to email or Skype. But please at least email the host family. I want you to feel comfortable sending your children to these different families. Anything we've forgotten? No? What? You're phenomenal? You're phenomenal?
No. Yeah, one more number.
You can do it again. Okay. As always, if you have any questions between now and Thursday, feel free to call me, email me, whatever. I do check emails late at night, so you're welcome to email anytime in the middle of the night. Okay, that concludes our evening performance, our dinner. Thank you again so much for coming, and we'll see you at 6 p.m. City Hall Thursday night. Oh, good. Dora, if you could just raise your hand. Steve, standing at the door, Steve Vicario, they were in charge. And Jenny Vicario, Steve's wife, helped with dinner, and Alex too, for that matter. We have cake in the back there, so if you would like to grab a piece of cake, please feel free to stay and hang around, talk to kids, talk to other people. You're not being booted out.